no pressure for head coach Steve McClaren. Reggae Boyz head coach should not feel as if he's pressured that he must win this game versus the United States of America. So welcome back, people, to MG Sports TV. Thank you very much again for tuning in. Really, really appreciate it. All right, so we're going to speak about Steve McClaren and the job he has done so far with the Reggae Boyz and the pressure that he has on his back to get the job done over the USA. And I'm going to give you guys, from my understanding, why it's not necessarily the biggest of deal if it does not. If it don't get the job done specifically and advance to the semi-finals of the of the Nations League. Now, I am not saying that it's not a big deal. I'm just saying, I'm going to explain to you guys why we should not be disheartened if we don't make it to the next stages. So, big up on yourself, people. Thank you very much again for tuning in. Really, really appreciate it. Hopefully, guys are doing good and everything is okay. Please do hit the like button. I would implore you to do so, and also implore you to hit the subscribe button as well. Would really, really appreciate it. Yeah, I've been out for a while. Never vlog up on the road much. Doctor tell me if I get some rest. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. But at the end of the day, work have to continue. Anyways, big up on yourself, people, every time, all the time. As I said, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. Now, so far since Steve McClaren has come into the Reggae Boyz job, from my perspective, I think he has done fairly well. 4 games, 2 victories, 2 draw, 3 clean sheets, scoring 4 goals, only conceding 1. In all sense, if you're going for a title, that's actually good form to go for a title. Now, I do believe that there's going to be a lot of pressure on Steve McClaren to get the job done over the USA, specifically based on the fact that the first game that we'll be playing will be in Jamaica. And that, in context, is going to put a lot of pressure on Steve McClaren because the fan base, supporters, will be putting pressure. Nothing's wrong with that. We have a big squad. We have high expectations from our squad. And based off the abundance of quality that we have, as I said, the expectation has risen. So everyone wants to see the team do well. But the thing is, many might discard the fact that Steve McClaren is just coming into the job. No, football is, as I agree, a result-oriented business. It's solely down to the results. I agree with that 100%. The problem that I'm having here is the pressure or the burden that will be on Steve McClaren's back to get the result, despite him still understanding the squad, still understanding the player, still adapting to the CONCACAF regional football. There's so much factors on his side that a lot of us are actually not looking at. Now, he's a big coach. He's a big brand name coach, which people might say that because he's a big brand name coach, the expectations will be quite high on him. And I too agree with that. But nevertheless, we still can't mitigate or look past the factors of him just coming into the job. He has been there a couple of months now. He has had only 4 games so far. And in those 4 games, he has qualified us for the quarterfinals of the Nations League. He has qualified us for the Gold Cup again. And he has done quite well. Now, I don't want to be a case in which just saying, not saying that it will happen, just saying that if he does not get Jamaica over this marker, this hurdle in defeating USA, both home and away, are getting results on both stages for us to advance, we should not come down on him and make it seem as if so far it has been a failure. it's very, very easy to misconstrue what's happening versus what's the reality of the situation. And as I said, looking at what he has done so far, I do think it's so easy. One defeat can just brush all of that aside. One defeat. That's just how fans are. That's a part of fandom. And specifically, if we should even lose the home game, that in itself is a big red flag and cause problems. No, what we should remember is that we lost the first game versus Canada. We lost the first game versus Canada last year in the Nations League, in the quarterfinals, and then we still went on over to Canada and defeat them. Now, a big aspect of this is what a lot of supporters don't know is that this commission is designed for it to be a USA-Mexico final. It's designed that way. That's the reason why most of USA games, they are playing in USA. That's the perks. That's the perks are should I say, the good aspect of being a part of the CONCACAF region for the USA, because everything happens in the USA. All games they play will be in the USA. Both home and away games will be in the USA. So the big aspect of that is, if you realize where they put the USA team to play for the next game, they're not putting these games where they know that the opposing team can have a lot of support. They're putting it far away as possible where they know that maximum supporters will be the USA supporters. What I'm saying is, USA coming to Jamaica, that's a big, big thing. And I do expect that there's going to be a lot of supporters in the stadium. Now, temporary expectations, as I said, coach is still learning the squad, still adapting to the squad. So going up against the USA is a big, big task, a huge task, specifically for a coach just coming into the job. Then now you look at the factor of the players adapting to a new system, new players coming into the squad. All of these are factors. And it might not go as smooth as we'd want it to. We are still hopeful that we can get the best results as possible for us to advance, but we have to temper expectations to know that anything can happen. This is a game of football. And as you know, anything can happen in football. With all that said, I just want people to understand that if we don't get a result here in Jamaica, it's not the end of the world. It's not, everything won't be closed off. And for those who don't know, strong possibilities are we might see another South American referee. If that's the case, you don't know what that go already. We can just write it off totally. If we do get a result here in Jamaica, going to America, we might see South American referees, or we might see referee from America. So that's just the nature of how things set up, people. I'm not saying this or saying that whatever. But read between the lines and you understand what's happening in the world of football. Football is a business, and that's how business operates. They maximize revenue. Best revenue puller, Mexico, USA final, biggest revenue puller. So guess what? That's just how it's designed. You have to throw your hat in really, really aggressively if you want a piece of the pie. To knock one of these big boys off the table in the USA or in Mexico. It's quite difficult to do so because there's a lot of external factors which are helping them, quote unquote. But we can definitely do something. I do hope that we really do something. But at the end of the day, it's just the nature of the game. But as I'm saying, go back to where I'm saying, let's not put this big emphasis on Steve McClaren that if he does not get this job done, the appointment of Steve McClaren has been a failure. Remember, the main aim is actually the World Cup. And this is just what should I say, a practice to get to the World Cup. In the event, these are the same teams who will be likely to be playing in the World Cup, so we most definitely have to play against these teams and become competitive. But the big factor of that is quite close to his newly being appointed, and also just adjusting the team, trying to get the team to suit him as best as possible. Players learning to new system, all these things. These things are quite new. So let's just temper expectations and let's not come down on the manager if things does not go necessarily exactly how we would want it to. That's just a part of it. Anyways, this is just me being a bit optimistic I would say, but let's have a look. Let's look at it in that way for now. You might not agree, no problem at all. I have no issues with that. If you don't, you can go in the comment section and explain your cause for me. But this is my stand as is at this present moment. I do though want to see my team being competitive and being and competing on the pitch in all facets of the game. But it's quite an interesting one, people. So big up on yourself, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys again. Until next time, MG Sports TV. We are out. God bless. Boom. You know what I mean? Like, share, and subscribe, people. Know what I think already.